Have you ever felt like your legs are slowly betraying you, even though you're doing everything right? Ever noticed how stairs feel steeper, or how it takes just a few extra seconds to rise from a chair? Could it really just be aging? Or is there something much more subtle, yet surprisingly harmful, hiding in your everyday routine? Here's the twist. It's not about what you're missing. In fact, the problem could be something you're already doing every day, something you've always believed was healthy. Most seniors unknowingly make a quiet mistake daily, and they do it with complete confidence simply because they've been told the same thing all their lives. Fruits are natural. Fruits are healthy. And yes, most of them are, but not all. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody seems to talk about. Not every fruit is senior-friendly. Some fruits that seem harmless, fruits we regularly toss into our carts and eat without hesitation, can gradually undermine leg strength, trigger knee pain, fuel joint inflammation, and make every step more difficult. Think about it. As we age, everything shifts, our metabolism slows, circulation weakens, and foods that once fueled our vitality may now quietly chip away at it, especially certain fruits. They may look innocent, they may taste sweet, but some are packed with acids, sugars, and compounds that can spike blood sugar, increase inflammation, and sap your strength from the legs up. And here's the worst part, the damage happens silently until one day, a sharp pain strikes your calf, or your thighs ache for no reason. Or you feel that odd tightness in your knees after a short walk, and you wonder, what's happening to my legs? In today's video, I'll uncover the 7 most dangerous fruits that adults over 60 should seriously reconsider, especially if you care about protecting your mobility, balance, and strength in the years ahead. They might look innocent, but don't let them fool you. Once you hear the truth, you'll never look at your fruit bowl the same way again. So stay with me, because if strong, pain-free legs matter to you, what I'm about to reveal could change the way you eat for good. Up next, let's take a closer look at the first surprising culprit on the list and why it's so deceptive. Before we dive into the details, let's quickly remind ourselves, not every fruit that seems healthy is truly harmless, especially as we age, and the first one on our list might really surprise you. Now, before we go any further, take a moment to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications, especially if you're someone who genuinely cares about long-term health. This channel is where we uncover the truths that most people never talk about. And if you're still with me right now, I want to know, are you really listening? If this video is speaking to you, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. You may not realize it, but your response helps shape this community. Your voice matters more than you think. Alright, let's get into the very first fruit that might be undermining your legs without you even realizing it. It's often praised for its supposed anti-inflammatory benefits, but for seniors, it may actually be doing the opposite. Let's talk about pineapple. It's tropical, it's juicy, it's refreshing, and it's often celebrated because of a special enzyme called bromelain, known for its anti-inflammatory effects. Sounds like a superfruit, right? But here's the twist. Even though many believe pineapple helps reduce inflammation, for those over 60, it may actually increase the very problems it's supposed to help solve. You see, pineapple is packed with natural sugars and powerful fruit acids, and as we get older, our blood vessels become more fragile, more sensitive. They no longer handle sugar spikes the way they once did. Despite its benefits, pineapple floods your bloodstream with a fast, intense dose of natural sugar. That rapid rise in blood sugar can stress your circulatory system, especially the tiny vessels that nourish your legs, feet, and muscles. And what happens when circulation declines? Less oxygen reaches your muscles, less nourishment reaches your joints. Over time, you begin to feel the difference. That tired, heavy ache in your legs after a short walk, the stiffness in your knees when you try to stand, the sudden ankle pain even when you've barely moved all day. Sound familiar? But that's not all. Pineapple isn't just sweet. It's acidic too, and that acidity can further inflame joints, especially if you're already dealing with arthritis or chronic inflammation. For some, it acts like fuel on a fire, worsening the heat and swelling in your hips, knees, and ankles. So, while pineapple may seem like a refreshing choice on a warm afternoon, for older adults, it could be quietly worsening leg pain, joint stiffness, and fatigue. Now that we've looked closely at pineapple, let's move on to the second fruit, one that many people enjoy every morning. Thinking it's the perfect healthy start to their day, but is it really? Let's find out. So, pineapple isn't as innocent as it looks, especially for aging legs, and for some, the aftermath is even more noticeable. Some people begin to feel an odd heaviness in their legs after eating pineapple. It's as if their strength is slowly draining away, step by step. And here's something you absolutely need to know, especially if you're taking any kind of medication. Pineapple contains bromelain, a powerful enzyme. But this enzyme isn't always friendly. Bromelain can interact with certain medications, particularly blood thinners. It might cause those medications to work too strongly or not work enough. Either scenario is dangerous, and most people have no idea it's happening. But perhaps the most troubling thing about pineapple is this. The effects don't hit suddenly. There are no obvious symptoms, no immediate pain or discomfort. Instead, it works in the background, day by day, weakening your legs, tightening your joints, making everyday movement feel just a little harder, until one day you realize you can't move the way you used to. And that's the saddest part. Many seniors, in their effort to eat healthy, end up consuming something that's quietly working against them. The very fruit they believe is helping them stay strong might be slowly contributing to the weakness they feel year after year. So what should you do? You don't need to fear pineapple or cut it out completely, but you do need to stay informed and listen to your body, especially if you've been dealing with mysterious leg discomfort, chronic swelling, or joint stiffness. Because when it comes to aging, the damage is often quiet, but it's still real. Now, if a fruit like pineapple, celebrated for its anti-inflammatory benefits, can have such negative effects on seniors, imagine what the next fruit might do. It's soft, it's sweet, it's famous for fueling your muscles and packing in potassium. But could it be misleading you? Let's talk about bananas, the second fruit on our list. Often called a muscle booster, bananas are soft, convenient, and widely loved. Rich in potassium, they're praised for helping prevent cramps, fueling workouts, and keeping muscles healthy. But here's the thing. For seniors, the story changes. Bananas are loaded with natural sugars and fast-digesting carbs. That means they cause blood sugar to spike quickly after you eat them. And when this happens frequently, your body can become resistant to insulin. That resistance slows circulation, increases inflammation, and puts extra strain on your legs. As a result, you might feel a dull ache when walking, stiffness in your calves after meals, or a strange heaviness in your thighs when climbing stairs. But it doesn't stop there. Bananas can also cause fluid retention. Especially for those with heart conditions. That means more swelling in your feet and ankles, stiffer joints, and an uncomfortable tightness that builds over time. And just like with pineapple, the effect is silent. You don't notice it at first, until one day your legs feel heavier than they should, and the fruit you once relied on for energy might be quietly holding you back. Now that you know what bananas can do, wait until you hear about the third fruit. It's often served fresh at breakfast and has a bright, healthy glow. But for aging joints, it might be anything but refreshing. Let's take a look. So while bananas are often seen as a go-to for muscle support, they can actually be chipping away at your leg strength little by little. And the most alarming part? The effects don't strike all at once. It's a slow fade, more discomfort, more stiffness, and suddenly, moving feels harder than it used to. Take a moment to think about the fruit sitting on your plate. If you regularly deal with heavy legs, nagging aches, or unexplained swelling, bananas may not be the harmless helper they seem to be. But what if I told you there's an even smaller fruit, something seemingly innocent, that could be just as problematic? Let's turn our attention to the third fruit, grapes. Small in size, but with a surprisingly big impact, especially when it comes to inflammation. Grapes are cute, juicy, easy to snack on, and carry a health halo. They're often praised for being heart-healthy and rich in antioxidants. But for older adults, the story takes a different turn. Many seniors who eat grapes frequently report mild but persistent leg pain, stiffness, or discomfort. And here's why. Grapes contain fructose, a natural sugar that, in large amounts, can quietly cause trouble. Fructose is metabolized in the liver. But when your liver is overloaded or your metabolism has slowed with age, that fructose can turn into fat and uric acid. That's when the real damage begins, especially in weight-bearing joints like the toes, ankles, and knees. Over time, uric acid builds up in the joints, triggering inflammation. You may feel a burning sensation, random swelling, or that familiar frustrating stiffness. Even a short walk can become painful. Have you ever woken up in the night with a sharp ache in your big toe? Or felt your calves tighten unexpectedly during the day? It might not be aging. It might be grapes. And the trouble doesn't stop there. Fructose is also a driver of chronic inflammation throughout the body. That means slower movement, increased joint pressure, and a constant feeling of tightness in the legs. To make matters worse, grapes are incredibly easy to overeat. They're bite-sized, light, and feel harmless. But without realizing it, you might polish off 2 or 3 cups in one sitting, and the sugar adds up fast. So while grapes might seem like a smart, healthy snack, they can actually contribute to a gradual loss of flexibility, increased joint discomfort, and overall leg fatigue as you age. Now that you know what might be hidden behind that sweet burst of flavor, it's time to ask, could there be other fruits just as deceptively harmful? Let's keep going, because the 4th fruit on our list is a breakfast favorite that often feels refreshing, but may be doing more harm than good. So, while grapes may seem like a small treat, their impact on your joints can be anything but minor. But what if the next fruit, one that seems even lighter, could be just as misleading? Let's talk about watermelon. The 4th fruit on our list is watermelon, the classic symbol of summer, hydration, and lightness. It's juicy, vibrant, and feels like the healthiest choice on a hot day. You bite into it expecting refreshment, not risk. But here's where things get tricky. Watermelon tastes like water, yet it acts like sugar. Strange, right? Everyone knows watermelon is low in calories and mostly water, which gives it that safe and clean reputation. But beneath that refreshing surface is a secret you need to know. Watermelon has a very high glycemic index, meaning it raises your blood sugar rapidly, almost like candy would. That quick spike may not be a big deal for younger people, but for seniors, it can silently contribute to inflammation, fatigue, and joint discomfort. Let's break it down. When your blood sugar rises suddenly, your body releases insulin to bring it down. But with age, the body's insulin response becomes weaker and more erratic. Instead of balance, it creates imbalance, especially in areas with poor circulation, like your legs. That's when you start to feel it. Tight calves after eating, stiffness in your knees, a heavy, dragging sensation in your thighs, and that familiar swelling around the ankles that just doesn't seem to go away. Even a short walk might leave you winded, sore, or needing to sit down. The truth is, watermelon can act like a sweet trap. It's soft, hydrating, and deceptively light, so most people eat a lot of it. One slice turns into 2, then 3. And with each extra bite, you're unknowingly increasing your sugar intake, inflammation, and strain on your circulatory system. You think you're doing your body a favor by staying hydrated. But instead, your blood sugar is rising, your blood flow is slowing down, and your legs are taking the hit. So ask yourself, is watermelon really helping you hydrate? Or is each juicy mouthful quietly making movement more painful? If you've been eating watermelon regularly and noticing that your legs feel more tired or swollen afterward, it might be time to reevaluate what's on your plate. Up next is a fruit that's everywhere, from morning juice to immune-boosting supplements. It's known for being rich in vitamin C, but for many seniors, it may be triggering a hidden acid attack on the joints. Let's take a closer look at oranges. So, while watermelon may be causing unexpected strain through sugar spikes, the next fruit on our list takes a very different path, through acidity. Let's turn our attention to oranges. Long praised for their vitamin C content and their reputation as immune boosters, oranges seem like a smart choice for staying healthy, especially for seniors. But what many don't realize is that behind that sunny citrus glow, oranges may be hiding a less pleasant truth. For people over 60, especially those already dealing with joint issues or chronic inflammation, oranges can quietly become a source of pain. Why? The answer lies in their high citric acid content, something your aging joints aren't fond of. Sure, citrus sounds harmless, we've all had it growing up. But for those with stiff joints or inflammatory conditions, that acid can slowly aggravate already sensitive tissue. And it doesn't just stay in your stomach. Once it enters the bloodstream, citric acid can circulate and irritate the delicate linings of your joints. You might notice it when you wake up and your knees feel stiff, or when you sit for a while and then try to stand, only to feel a lingering ache in your hips or calves. Swelling becomes more frequent. Your mobility feels limited. And what do you blame? Age. But here's the catch. That glass of orange juice you drink every morning, the one you thought was keeping you strong, might be contributing to the very pain you're trying to avoid. What's more, oranges also contain natural sugars. When combined with the acid, these sugars can create fluctuations in blood sugar levels. And with that comes more inflammation. Your knees, your ankles, your calves all begin to feel heavier, stiffer, more sore. Oranges aren't inherently harmful to younger, more resilient bodies. But in aging individuals with slower metabolism and weaker circulation, the impact is slow and subtle. That's what makes it so difficult. You're doing what you believe is healthy, but over time it chips away at your comfort. Because oranges have long symbolized vitality and wellness, most people never question them. But now you know, they might not be as joint-friendly as they seem. So where do we go from here? Next, we're looking at a fruit that appears to be the safest of all. It's green, crisp, and lower in sugar. Many think it's the healthier apple, the smart choice. But hidden inside, it holds something that can cause nighttime cramps, stiff knees, and aching hips. Let's talk about green apples, the sixth fruit on our list and an unexpected source of leg pain. Green apples look clean, fresh, and natural. They're often marketed as the low-sugar alternative to red apples, making them especially popular with older adults watching their diet. But what most people don't realize is that green apples can quietly lead to fatigue, leg stiffness, and discomfort. The culprits? Two things: malic acid and hidden natural sugars. Let's start with malic acid, the compound that gives green apples their signature tartness. While it's perfectly fine for younger people, it can be irritating for aging digestive systems. And that's just the beginning. So while green apples may look crisp, clean, and low in sugar, their hidden acids and natural sugars can quietly take a toll on your joints and energy, especially when eaten frequently. You see, as we age, the lining of our digestive system becomes more delicate, more reactive. And malic acid, the very compound that gives green apples their sour punch, can irritate not only the gut but also joint tissues once it enters the bloodstream. Some seniors report sharp hip or thigh pain after eating green apples. Others mention a strange, warming sensation in their feet or a tightness that settles in the knees. These symptoms don't always show up right away, but over time, the acid builds up, and with that buildup, discomfort becomes more frequent, more intense. And there's more. Even though green apples taste less sweet than red ones, they still contain natural sugar. And for older adults with slower metabolisms, even modest amounts can cause blood sugar fluctuations. That's when the cycle begins: tired calves, nighttime leg cramps, morning stiffness, that frustrating feeling of weakness when trying to climb stairs. One of the biggest issues: green apples are often eaten raw, between meals, as a bedtime snack or tossed into salads. That means their effects accumulate gradually, touching your body daily, even nightly. They look innocent, even beneficial. But they may be silently stiffening your joints, making walking harder, and turning restful nights into restless ones. And if something as simple as a green apple can do that, imagine what a fruit much sweeter might be doing. Let's move on to a fruit that's tropical, rich, and bursting with flavor. One that almost everyone craves in the summer. Let's talk about mango, the seventh fruit on our list. Mango is soft, juicy, and tastes like nature's candy. It's a favorite in smoothies, desserts, or just enjoyed fresh under the sun. But for seniors, it may be far from sweet relief. In fact, mango might be one of the most harmful fruits for those dealing with leg pain or joint sensitivity. Why? Because it's loaded with natural sugar. Not just a little. Mango delivers a powerful sugar surge that sends your blood glucose soaring shortly after you eat it. If you're young, active, and under 30, Your body may bounce back quickly from that kind of spike. But after 60, everything changes. Your metabolism slows. And when that sugar rush hits, it causes your insulin levels to spike and then crash. Each time that happens, it sets off inflammation deep inside your joints, especially around soft tissues in your ankles, knees, and hips. Have you ever felt a burning sensation in your toes? A strange tingling that just lingers in your legs? Or evening swelling in your feet that seems to appear out of nowhere? Mango could be part of the problem. Because it tastes light and refreshing, many people eat it in larger portions without even thinking about it. A few slices quickly become a full serving, or more. But your body doesn't care how light it feels. It only reacts to the sugar, and that sugar can trigger joint discomfort, slower movement, and a creeping instability in your legs. So what does this all mean for seniors who love sweet tropical fruits? In the final section, let's bring it all together and talk about how to make smarter choices so you can enjoy fruit without paying the price in joint pain. So while mangoes may taste like a sweet summer treat, for older adults, their high sugar content can quietly wear down the joints. Now that you've seen the full picture, it's clear even fruits that are widely celebrated for their health benefits can have unintended consequences for people over 60. But here's the good news. There's another side to the story. Just as some fruits quietly aggravate pain, others can help fight it. They support strong, steady legs, soothe inflammation, and promote smoother movement. So let's shift gears now and talk about what you should be eating. Because when you make the right choices, fruits don't just fill your belly. They help heal your body. Let's begin with berries. Blackberries, raspberries, blueberries. These little gems are some of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory foods. They're low in sugar, packed with antioxidants, and gentle on your blood sugar. Most importantly, they improve circulation, especially in the legs. Better circulation means less swelling, more ease of movement, and fewer bouts of stiffness after sitting or walking. Next, we have cherries, but in moderation. Cherries are special because they help lower uric acid levels in the body. And that means fewer gout flare-ups, less joint pain, and reduced burning sensations in places like your knees or toes. Just a small handful can bring real relief. No need for a bowlful, just a few can make a difference. Now let's talk about an underrated powerhouse, the avocado. Yes, it's technically a fruit, and it's one of the best for joint health. Why? Because it's full of healthy fats that reduce inflammation from the inside out. Avocados help cushion your joints, stabilize blood sugar, and give you long-lasting energy without the sugar crashes. They're creamy, satisfying, and deeply restorative for aging bodies. If you're looking for something tropical and easy to digest, try papaya. This soft, vibrant fruit contains natural enzymes that help reduce inflammation and support smoother digestion. It's gentle on the stomach and kind to aging joints. It offers a soothing sweetness without the negative effects of high-sugar fruits. Don't forget about pears. When eaten with a little fiber or protein, pears give you a soft, pleasant sweetness that energizes the body without overloading it. They offer gentle fuel that doesn't tax your system, and they help keep your legs feeling lighter and more stable. Each of these fruits works with your body, not against it. They don't spark inflammation. They don't weigh you down. They restore the strength, balance your body naturally seeks with age. Because in the end, it's not about cutting out fruit. It's about choosing the right ones for your body at this stage of life. And when you start making those mindful choices, you'll feel it. Your steps get steadier, your movements become smoother, your mornings begin with more clarity and less discomfort. Now, as we close this video, I want to speak directly to you. If you've made it this far, that tells me one thing. You care about your future, your health, and your independence. And I want you to hear this loud and clear. It's not too late to change. You still have time to rebuild, and you're not alone. Aging is hard. The aches, the stiffness, the quiet fear of falling, it all creeps in, and sometimes it can feel like your body is slowly slipping away. But the truth is, you don't need a dramatic overhaul to take control. Just a few smart, steady choices, one fruit, one meal, one step at a time. The fruits we talked about today aren't bad, they're just not the best fit for you right now. And that's okay. Aging doesn't mean giving things up, it means getting wiser. So choose foods that support your joints, your circulation, and your energy. You'll start to feel the difference. Less pain, more mobility, easier mornings, and lighter steps. That's what this channel is about. Not fear, not restriction. Yoke, but empowerment through knowledge. Now I want to hear from you. What did you learn today? What's one change you're ready to make? Leave your answer in the comments below, because we all grow when we share. If this video helped you, even in a small way, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss valuable insights that could change your health. And before you go, type 1 in the comments if this video was useful to you. If not, type 0. You might not realize it, but your voice truly matters here. Stay strong, stay aware, and remember, your legs carry your freedom. Take care of them, and they'll take care of you.